Hello, welcome to another episode of Spirits and Supernatural. I'm Dawn.
And I'm Jenny.
And this is our second episode. And so, our first episode, we talked about Dean Winchester. So now it's time to talk about the younger Winchester brother. Not the youngest, but the younger.
Oh, good job. We didn't forget Adam.
We didn't. Maybe it's because some friends of ours got pictures with Jake Abel this weekend. So,
and we're a little jealous.
Maybe a little
There
bit.
was a con and it was kind of close, but funds were not enough for us to make it.
No, they were not. Am I thinking right that Jake Abel is from Northeast Ohio?
Yeah, he's from Ohio.
Okay.
That's why when Supernatural came to Columbus, I emailed them constantly, bring Jake. He's an Ohio boy. Bring Jake. He's an Ohio boy. So somebody asked Jake just at the last con they were at, why he didn't come to Ohio. He wasn't invited. And I'm like, that's a travesty.
Listen, we want Jake Abel here.
That's right. We'll start the
train.
The train. I was going to say the mob. We're going to mob. We're going to mob creation.
That sounds more violent than what I was going for.
But today is a really fun time for you because you, Dawn, are the Sam girl, and you'll be able to say all the beautiful things about Sam that you
Winchester,
love.
And the 1,800 reasons that I love him.
Wow, that many.
That is a number that I just made up. Sam Winchester. Okay, so let's start out with talking about the cocktail that we're going to have.
Oh, yes.
So we are making a martini, a demon's blood-tini. It contains no blood or demons.
As far as we know.
This is made with blood orange infused vodka and cranberry juice. And that's it.
And that's the end.
3 parts vodka, 1 part cranberry juice. We are doing the shaken, not stirred variety martini today, which is, if you are here for the ASMR sounds, you're going to hear the shaking in the background and everything.
Yes. We try to do a full immersion. We like to bring you in and really feel like you're here with us.
Listen with headphones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to get started on pouring this. I guess how many parts do we want to? It just says 3 parts. Should we do 3 ounces and 1 ounce and just keep it simple?
Sure. Let's do it. Let's see what happens if I drink 3 ounces of vodka. I might get floopy. We talked about this last time, so we'll do it.
We're going to get a floopy scale. How floopy did that drink make you? So, Jenny, if you were going to do a mocktail version of this, how would you do that?
Well, I would use 3 parts of like an orange soda maybe, or an orange flavored water, probably an orange flavored water, 1 part of cranberry juice, and then probably, because just to add a little more kick to it, so to speak, I'd probably add a little bit of Sprite just to bubble it up a little bit, even though this is a non-bubbled drink. But that's probably what I would do.
Martinis don't typically have bubbles, but
right.
If you're making a mocktail version of this with soda, it's going to be bubbled. Unless you do it with
you're doing it with like an orange flavored water.
Water, that's like a sparkling water, sure.
Right. So yeah, that's what I would do if I were to make a mocktail demon blood-tini.
I wish that there was some sort of smell-o-vision version of this,
Smellicast,
so that you could smell, the listener, could smell the blood orange.
Oh, it smells
vodka,
delicious,
doesn't it?
I love blood oranges too. Maybe I've never eaten one. I love the color of blood oranges. I don't think I ever ate one. That's just how I roll. If I see it, I love it.
Jenny's just full of wishes and hopes here. I'm going to mix both of the cocktails at the same time. Right. I put 6 ounces of vodka in my shaker, and then I'm going to do 2 ounces of cranberry juice. Oh, I should have put the ice in there before I put all this in here. That'll be a fun little addition.
Yeah, don't splash yourself. Yeah. And don't spill the cranberry juice.
Then it'll look like blood on your floor.
Yeah. Oh, well.
That'll be awesome.
This podcast, like we said, is kind of Sam-centric. And so why are we drinking a demon blood-tini? Well, obviously, Sam had an issue with demon blood.
An addiction, you might say.
Yes. As a matter of fact, most of, if not all of season 4, he had it pretty bad. Season 4, what started off with a bang, it was after Dean had returned from hell. That was like the beginning. So I don't know about you, Dawn, but the first time I watched season 1 of episode 4, when Sam's
Do you
in the
mean episode 1 of season 4?
That's exactly what I mean.
Okay.
Thank you. Season 4, episode 1 is what I meant. When they're in the hotel room and he's in there with that girl and he's like, okay, Kathy, I'll call you later. And she's like, Christy. I did not notice that that was Ruby the first time I watched it. Totally missed it. No. Well, yeah, because it's Genevieve, but it's a different actress.
Playing Ruby.
Right. But when she came back on later, it was Ruby, and it still didn't occur to me that Kathy
realized.
I did my very first watch through. I had no idea. It never occurred to me. They played that so well, with her going. I mean, he's like, "I'll call you Kathy," and she's like, "Christy," and when she opened the door and saw Bobby and Dean, she knows who Bobby and Dean are, and she completely.
She's like, where's the pizza?
Deep undercover. Yeah. So anyhow, I just thought that was really interesting. So then as season 4 went on, we found out that he's in this relationship, a big relationship with this Ruby character. And then we find out that he's actually drinking her blood. That's what we find out throughout this whole,
which is a really great way for a romantic relationship to begin.
Clearly it worked for them.
Jared married Genevieve.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if it works, you just do what you got to do. Dawn has just poured me my drink, and it's a really pretty color. It's almost
it's a very soft pink.
Yeah,
actually,
like
which I mean, it's the cranberry juice is the deep red that it is, and then the vodka doesn't have any color. It's clear. So
this is kind of like probably somebody that's anemic. Their blood's not as dark. It's just a little light, but it's really
this
pretty.
Is the anemic demon's blood.
Demon's blood. Yes, that's what we like to bring.
That's exactly it.
So we're going to take a sip of this real quick. Here you go, Dawn. Let's do a little toast. There we go.
Good.
A little clink. Ooh, that's really tasty. I can taste the vodka.
Interesting. You can definitely taste
it's stronger than what the Purple Nurple was by far, but it's really good.
That is 70 proof vodka.
It is?
Yep.
And we have 3 ounces.
I just read that on the bottle.
So I'm sitting here and I saw 35%. So I was thinking.
So that's the thing. If you don't know that, whatever the percentage is, that doubled is the proof.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
So now you know.
No wonder I felt a little burn going down.
Well, there's always ice. You could water it down a little bit if
Sprite,
you need to.
Even though it's not a genuine martini.
I would definitely add Sprite to this. Or ginger ale.
Do you want me to get you some Sprite?
I think I would like some Sprite.
I'm going to get you some Sprite. You talk about Sam while
it's
I'm
either that or I'm going to get floopy.
Yeah, well.
So yeah, that point that you made though, when you didn't realize that was Ruby, is interesting. I noticed, and I'm sure other people have, that one of the themes throughout the show is the importance of telling the truth and not lying. And then chronically, the boys lie to each other constantly. And so opening season 4 with that, just bold-faced straight up lie, and we realize it's a lie later on, is I guess it's typical, unfortunately, but interesting. And it also goes along with another one of the themes where the boys always think that they're doing something good. They're doing something good for the good of the world or each other or whatever. Yeah. But in order to do that such good thing, they have to keep secrets from each other.
Yeah. I feel like they're constantly trying to protect each other.
Oh, yeah.
But when they're doing that, they're always,
That was a Sprite bottle.
That was. They always end up being less than truthful. Now, I feel as the series went on, they became a little more truthful with one another. But it took a long time.
The stakes get higher, and I think it makes them have to tell the truth more.
Yeah. But of course, the show is on for 15 seasons. I've never looked up stats. I don't know how many writers that they had over 15 seasons, but 100 maybe? Is that fair to say? 327 episodes? Maybe not 100.
There were some people who were on there consistently, but like even Kripke wasn't there the whole time.
He didn't write all of the first 5 seasons. I'll say 50. There's probably at least 50 writers, I would think. I don't know. But we might look that up sometime because I'm sure y'all want to know now.
If you know, comment.
Or if you know, let us know. So sometimes it felt like some stories kind of got recycled a little bit. And I guess that's pretty common. And the truth of the matter is, in life, some things that happen to you kind of recycle. You know, something that you might have done in your 20s might come back and revisit you in your 30s or your 40s. Life is not totally linear.
Sometimes that thing is demons.
Yeah, sometimes. And sometimes you got to drink their blood. That's just what I hear.
One of the things that I guess I inferred or kind of got from the show is that Sam would have had the powers and abilities that he had without drinking demon's blood. Doesn't somebody straight tell him that?
I don't remember that at all. And I just watched season 4 recently.
I really thought at some point somebody said, like, he could have had all that power without drinking the demon blood. But Ruby got him convinced that that's what he needed.
Could be. Although I kind of feel like that's not true, because then at the end of season 5, in order to fight Lucifer, to win that battle, he had to drink the demon blood. And I feel like if Cass would have known that he didn't have to, he would have told him, you have it within you to do it. Anyhow, that's what I think, because he had to, it was his only way. He had to get all juiced up, pumped up with, which was a pretty gross thing. I know there's like 4 gallons of blood they had in the trunk for him to guzzle down.
That sounds awful.
Doesn't it?
Yes.
Like, I can drink like 16-ounce bottle of water, but I don't think I can even guzzle a 16-ounce bottle of water at once. It would make my stomach hurt. Yeah. So 4 gallons is a lot. And it's thick. It's not a thin liquid. It's pretty gross.
And now we're going to talk about the viscosity of blood.
We bring all kinds of things to this podcast. But Dawn, tell me why we found out not fully 20 years of experience of supernatural.
Right.
Why Sam over Dean?
So I think I mentioned before, when I watch like shows or movies or different things, I'm always drawn to like the nerdy underdog characters. And Sam, I think, embodies that. I realize that he's not like some small actual like person because he's 6'4", but he's kind of like the black sheep in his family for not wanting to follow, And I was watching Dead Man's Blood, episode 20 of season 1 recently, and I found that I related to Sam really heavy on authority figures. He does not like to just be given orders and then blindly follow, which Dean is willing to do. And he even says in that episode, like, if just doing what Dad says gets the job done, that's fine for me right now. He also admits, like, he wants to know the reason why, like, why we're doing this, why, whatever. But Dean is willing to just follow those orders and then find out the reasons later.
Yeah.
But Sam can't handle like having orders just barked at him and just being expected to be a good little soldier. And that is something that I very much relate to.
I want to know the why.
I want to know the why behind things
right away.
And like understand. And one thing that annoys the crap out of me about TV is like some situation will happen, some big dramatic thing, somebody will be injured or killed or whatever, and it's because character A didn't explain themselves to character B.
Okay.
And I'm like, if y'all would have just talked to each other, then 600 people wouldn't have died in the process or something.
And definitely the beginning seasons of Supernatural, that was a huge theme with the boys. They didn't communicate. Yeah. And then if they did communicate, they weren't necessarily fully honest with each other.
They weren't good at it.
It did drive me crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, you had the opportunity, just talk to them.
They're in the car 12 hours a day.
Right.
It's just
y'all
them.
were in Missouri yesterday, and today you're in Arizona. I think you had a minute together.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, like that, wanting to understand the why behind things on that, kind of being I feel like being a hunter is being a black sheep, taking the path that like you have to take sometimes. I also found in that episode that I really related to Dean at one point, because when Dad and Sam are arguing, he's somehow like this go-between messenger person.
Yeah.
And anybody who in their family has had to be like the messenger and the one who smooths the things over between other people in their family can relate to that.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think,
sure.
and that's one of the things that like the writers do so well in this show, is like, even though it's supernatural, there are monsters and demons and all these things, like the characters are still very human.
Oh, family dynamics,
Yeah.
so huge in the show.
Yeah.
And like you said, Dean, and he didn't pick sides. He didn't say Sam, when Sam and John were going at each other, Dean, like, was the intercessor, but it wasn't all Sam, you're wrong. It was like, Dad, you are too.
Yeah.
He's like equally like both of you shut up and let's get this done.
I really felt like that episode really was great for the family dynamics, and you could kind of see like some of the history they had. And that they do care about each other so deeply, and that's why they yell at each other so loudly,
It's true.
Yeah.
So, do you have a favorite Sam episode?
That's a great question, and I don't have one that jumps into my head immediately.
Do you have a favorite, I mean, and there you could have several, but do you have a favorite Sam moment that you're just like, you love? I have two that come to mind for me.
Yeah, share yours.
Do you want to think about it?
Yeah.
In Bad Day at Black Rock, when he has the rabbit's foot and loses the rabbit's foot, I felt like we were able to see Jared Padalecki, Sam Winchester, had really some good comedic timing in there. Like when they go running and he falls and his shoe gets the gum on it and he's like, I lost my shoe. He just did that so well. And he was just, it made me think of him being a little boy and being like at a park with Dean and like, I lost my ice cream cone or I lost my balloon and Dean had to, make it better for him. I thought he did that really well. That was super cute. And then it was the end of season 8. I can't remember the name of or title of the episode, but it's when he was doing all the trials.
Yeah.
And he's in that last place. And he's like, Dean, you know what I said when I was in there when he had to confess before he did the final trial, he had to confess his sins or whatever it was. He said, we know what I said in there? I told him how upset I am with myself for letting you down. That was just heart-wrenching to me. And I mean, Dean's response was really good too, but just that whole, I felt like the last half of season 8 was so good for Jared. He really had to stretch his acting chops. And as Sam, just going through those trials, and as he got sicker and sicker, I think we need to shout out for the makeup department. They did an amazing job of making him really look sick. It was really,
the whole
that was really
of
good.
The show. It's the little details in things in different places. One of the things that really amuses me is the early seasons, the like fashion. And then how things change. And it's interesting because I think for like the boys, their fashion changes just slightly. And especially when they get more comfortable and they have a home in the bunker, like
they readily accessible washer and dryer.
Exactly. Like they look less like grungy and less like they live on the road.
But part of that was the tone, just even it was so dark, especially season 1 was dark. It was practically black and white. It was so dark.
Gosh, I know. You get your brightness all the way up on your screen and like, you're still like, wait, did something move?
Yeah. So, so as it went, it did get lighter in visually speaking, although the topics got heavier as the show went on. But yeah, they did lighten it up. And I think they kind of make fun of that in is it Hollywood Babylon, when Dean is like a PA and and they talk and they're like, make fun. That's like one of the first episodes where they make fun of themselves. Yeah. But so did you think of a special Sam moment?
I don't know if I have any particular, but I think it's, for me, there's kind of accumulation of like getting to know the characters over the show that I've just always found Sam to be the most relatable for me. In the emotion, he's always willing to like express his emotions and accept his emotions and feel them so deeply, and that like he's the smart one and he knows the techie things and like he can do that and he embraces it and he's like, you know what, somebody's got to know the lore, somebody's got to memorize the exorcism rites here, like stepping up and like a lot of ways. I guess I just find Sam to be just very relatable.
I understand
From
that.
like family dynamics, from just in general, like a lot of stuff.
He's more maybe a logical, and Dean is more act from the heart. And I think that's why I relate to Dean more, because I'm more of the fierce protector. If you're in my life, if you're family or somebody I've adopted you as family, I am going to go to bat for you every time. I'm going to defend you. You are, nobody's going to hurt you on my watch. And I think that's where I get my Dean isms from. Is just like, I understand. And I think family is important to Sam too. I'm not downplaying that, but I feel like Dean was more heart, Sam was more head. Think first, act later. Dean is definitely act first, ask forgiveness later. Yeah. But no, I like Sam too. I like Dean more, but but that's okay. I think in this fandom that there's a lot of Sam girls, Dean girls, and I've never really I haven't witnessed anybody getting like really angry with another person because they like the other boy better. I've seen some people maybe not understanding why you may or may not like a certain character. And when we get to that character, I'll talk about that. But Sam and Dean, I think they're pretty level playing field as far as the fandom. You couldn't have a show if it were just Dean. You couldn't have a show if it were just Sam. No. You needed both brothers, and you needed both their dynamics to make it work.
Absolutely, for sure, yeah.
Thoughts. Can you hear the thoughts?
They're in my brain somewhere.
Well, I don't know. I think it's the 70% vodka. It's
70 proof vodka.
70 proof. Yeah. Hitting the bloodstream. So since this is a specific, the demon blood, first time you watched it, were you like shocked when you saw that that's what was juicing Sam up? Did you think it was just like maybe the relationship with Ruby? Did you know that it was going to be?
When we saw that and you're like, oh, that's what it is. No, I don't think anybody was like, I'm totally okay with this.
Yeah.
Definitely not. You're thinking, and I think there's a progression for Sam with that whole addiction, which that's another thing that I think they handle so well in the show is like dealing with that addiction and then overcoming it.
Yeah.
How it still affected him later on even. I think watching it, you kind of are going through that process with him. You start out where you're like, oh, it's a little bit, it's for a good cause. Like, he's like, oh, I got this under control.
And I do believe he really thought that. 100%. He thought, I can save these people that are possessed. He's like, if we use the knife, it kills the victim, unless you're Bobby, and then it paralyzes you. But other than that, it kills the victim. And he's like, he's like, a lot of them live, not all of them live, but a lot of them did when he was able to exercise.
And how many times do we allow ourselves to do something that is maybe a little less moral because we think that like in some way it's
for the greater good,
better for the greater good. Exactly.
Yeah. I appreciated it too. If you're a person that has any kind of addiction issues, no matter what it may be, you can relate to that, because when they had to clean him up, that was heartbreaking too. They locked him in the panic room, and he was just like, begging to get out. And, Dean's like, I can't watch this. I got it, because it's his baby brother. Yeah. That was really hard. One thing that I find funny though, when I watch this show, sometimes they were how old were the characters? 22 and 26 or 21 and 27?
Something like that.
Yeah. These were grown men. I mean, obviously. But it's still, they would go into their roles as big brother, little brother, even 15 years down the road, when they're 40 and 36, they would fall into those roles. And I found that very interesting, no matter what. As an only child, I kind of gravitate towards family, not necessarily family themed shows that are, wholesome. Things that were family is really important, and obviously in supernatural, family is really important. And I really gravitate towards that, and their dynamic of big brother, little brother. And there's a lot of episodes where that just comes through really well. And then there's other episodes where you talked about Dean being a bully. He does kind of, bully Sam or whatever. But I think that's a good depiction of a big brother, little brother scenario also.
Yeah, they definitely jest and whatever. And I think sometimes Dean does pull like that. I'm a big brother card. I'm in charge. This is what we're doing.
Yes, for sure.
Absolutely.
And then, Sam of course, often falls in line, but sometimes he does pushback.
Right.
You know.
And then eventually they have to clean up the mess of charging in.
Yeah.
Guns blazing.
True. Very true. I think as Sam, to compare Sam and Dean had some vague memories of his mom. I mean, he was 4.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of memories from when you're 4, Dawn?
I have exactly none.
Okay, well, there you go. So Dean probably, because of the way his mother died, he probably has maybe a few more than what someone who grew up, whose mom was still alive when you're 30 or whatever. But Sam didn't get to experience any of that.
Yeah.
6 months old. So he never knew his mom. You know, that episode when he talks about, I didn't have anybody cut the crusts off my PB&J.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think that plays a huge role also in how they interact and who they become. I do love how the show adopted Bobby as their surrogate father.
Absolutely.
I think that was
best
great.
Dad they ever had, in my opinion.
Yeah. That was really good. We'll talk more about Bobby when we...
Obviously.
I'm sure whatever we're drinking for Bobby will be a whiskey of some sort, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Rock.
It will not have anything mixed into it. It'll be like straight bourbon.
Daniel's out of the bottle.
Not even in a glass.
No. We'll just share in a flask.
Exactly.
Which I have a flask. I have a holy water flask that says Winchester's on it. It says holy water.
Nice.
But yeah, I don't carry it around just in case anybody I work with is listening to this. I don't have a flask at work. I got it because I thought it was cute.
Cute. The holy water flask. Isn't that adorable?
It is. And it was. Who did you think, as the seasons went on, I'm going to ask this, who would you have liked to seen Sam end up with?
Eileen.
Really?
Absolutely, Eileen.
I liked Sarah. I felt like the chemistry, even though it was one episode, and I know she came back later.
Was she the veterinarian or somebody else?
No, she was the museum, the Provenance.
Oh, from like season 1.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought that dynamic was so interesting because
season 2. Was it season 1?
It's season 1, yeah.
Okay.
I've been doing a very slow rewatch as of late, and that was season 1.
Okay.
That was such an interesting relationship because she's also very realistic about it. She's like, I know that you don't stick around and I'm not going to like hang out waiting and put my life on hold.
Yeah.
Which I feel like somebody very practical like that is somebody who is for Sam too. Like,
I thought their chemistry was really good.
It was, yeah.
I honestly didn't think that he and Eileen had great chemistry. I'm not sure why. I liked Eileen. I love that they brought on a deaf actress to play a deaf role, because sometimes they don't do that. They use hearing people to play deaf roles, which I disagree with.
Makes no sense. Okay.
But I liked that a lot. I just didn't get the chemistry between them like I did with him and Sarah, personally.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of relatableness for them too, because her parents also died in a traumatic,
when she was a baby,
supernatural
in the crib.
related. Yeah, exactly. And then, she's like kind of raised as a hunter too. So they had that kind of similarity to them. But I think,
was her mom a witch?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I think there was like a playfulness between them. And honestly, I just thought that all of their interactions were super, well, not all of them, but like when they weren't hunting and like trying to kill a banshee or something, their interactions were just so cute.
Yeah.
I just thought it was so adorable.
So to you, in the final season, the final episode, when it's showing him tossing the ball with Dean the second, or the second Dean, you feel like that was Eileen on the porch watching him?
No, not necessarily. No. I really have no idea who that person would have been. Like, I, to this day, I'm like, I wonder who that was.
And we didn't need to know, apparently.
Part of me kind of feels like, because Sam had relationships with other women who weren't hunters, that it could have just been
somebody else he found.
Somebody else he met later, like after Dean died and everything. So
I was going to say that I thought the best person for him was Piper. Remember who she was? She was the waitress in Baby. he hooked up with in the back seat of Baby.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just joking.
Oh my gosh, that scene was hilarious though. When Dean gets in the car and then they're like, "Oh, hi."
Yeah. Yeah. I just remember her name because I like name Piper. So I was like, that's who I think Sam should have ended up with. But
he drove back to that diner and he found Piper.
She wouldn't take his number. He shared that, and I don't remember that in the episode. He's like, I tried to give her my number and she didn't want it.
And Dean was like, "Of course you tried to give her." Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess to me, I would have chosen Sarah. You would have chosen Eileen. That's okay.
Yeah, I love the dynamic that Sam and Eileen had, but
I understand that.
I am not out here like deep diving and thinking too hard about who the mother, who he ended up with. I'm just like, I hope he was happy is more than anything. Yeah.
I think if they really wanted us to think it was Eileen, even though they couldn't show her because of COVID at the time, I'm sure the actress couldn't be up there. If they wanted us to think it was Eileen, they could have shown Sam speaking to him in sign language. Yeah. And then I think that would have really been, that's it.
That would have been like Eileen. Your little Easter egg kind of.
And they chose not to reveal who it was. Then that was, because that wasn't what was important. What was important was him having a son named Dean, and he got to raise his son.
Which is what Dean always wanted. Right. He wanted Sam to have a normal life.
Yes, apple pie life.
Exactly.
Yeah. And in the end, then when Sam's on his deathbed and his son comes to him and he's like, "It's okay, Dad, you can go."
And then we're all like just soaking in our own tears.
Yes. Yeah. It just made me wonder, the mom must have already been gone, because.
Yeah, or otherwise she would have been there.
Right. Yeah. And they showed the pictures, but the picture that they focused on was the 4 Winchesters, Mary, John, Sam, and Dean.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was, I think there was one of Sam and his son, Dean, graduating school or whatever, but there wasn't like a family picture of the 3 of them. So it's left up to
imagination,
us to decide.
The fandom to fight over.
Yeah. With Sam, like you said, he's the one that thinks more, let's look at the lore, let's learn all the Latin. Could you have seen, like originally, I think Jensen read for Sam's role. Can you imagine him in that? I think it's just because he did Dean so well. Jared did Sam so well. Can you even imagine them being different?
Opposite?
Yeah.
Like, no.
Not even a little bit. I can't even think of it.
I think because, it's so ingrained in us that face is that character, is that personality. To try to see them, the other face doing those things.
The one thing, too, that this show did so well was they cast the young Dean and the young Sam, like, perfectly.
Every version of them at every age.
Every time. But I think Colin Ford, who played young Sam the most, somebody posted this meme I saw that young Colin Ford grew up to look more like Sam Winchester than Jared Padalecki did. It was just like, he did. He looked like Sam. It was so good. And then my favorite Dean was Dylan Everett, I think was his name. About a Boy, the one who gets the Hansel and Gretel episode. Okay. He's that one. I thought he did Dean really, really good. But yeah, I thought the casting,
they did a great job for sure. Yeah.
And it was phenomenal. Yeah. So what have we learned today, children, about Sam Winchester?
There are children?
There could be children listening.
Enjoy your mocktails, children.
Mocktails, exactly. Enjoy that orange juice and cranberry juice.
Yeah, for sure. What's our takeaway from this? I think, we've kind of talked more about like the dynamic, the differences between the boys, but still seeing like their deep care and love for each other. And
yeah. It's pivotal. And that's why when we decided to do this podcast and we decided, let's, find these drinks that are inspired by the show, let's go with family first.
Absolutely. And we had to start with the Winchesters first.
And the reason we chose Dean first was because there actually was a purple nurple in the episode. Doesn't mean that we think Dean is better than Sam. If we were actually going to follow the law of the show, we would have started with Sam because he was number 1 on the call sheet. I'm happy starting with Dean. We can end with Dean. We can do every episode about Dean. I have lots of things to say. Plus, you had 1,800 things to say about Sam. So
There are 1,800 reasons that are a mystery to me. I think I might have vocalized like 500.
There's so much. Stay with us. We have years of learning what else Dawn wants to say about Salem.
Yeah, it'll be years down the line, and we'll have a mocktail for like the Biggersons server in episode whatever 200 or something. I don't know their whole name.
We're gonna go through every angel and
yeah, we're like, this is the Alfie.
I loved Alfie.
We have to do a Mama Tran cocktail sometime down the line.
Oh, I'll bet you there's like a tiger drink. Yeah. There's got to be a tiger.
Oh, you know what?
Cocktail.
Before we wrap up, I should mention this cocktail, the Demon Blood-tini, we got from a Tumblr user.
Oh, thank you, Tumblr user.
The last one, the Purple Nurple, we got from the cocktail book. This one is from, I don't know any way to pronounce this Tumblr user's name other than to say aztinamk.
Like maybe she's from Arizona.
Maybe.
She's got a master's in
aztinamk.tumblr.com. Thank you for your supernatural themed drink menu from whenever you posted that. There's a good list on here.
We'll probably have other ones from her.
We found you via Google search.
Yeah.
And we appreciate the cocktail that you created,
we like it.
Or
it's
shared.
It's
anyway.
strong. I'm sure that you can get blood infused. Please don't get blood infused vodka. Blood orange infused vodka at a lighter.
Possibly. I got Sky.
70% is pretty.
That's a large.
Not 70%. 70 proof. 35% is pretty high for me. I have not finished this cocktail, and I'm already feeling the little
floopy.
Little floopy. Join us next time, and we're going to be covering our favorite
Daddy
dad
Winchester,
ever, John Winchester. Thanks for tuning in. Let us know what you think.